I'm Francisco.
And I'm Dorian. Today we bring you here for a deep dive into our documentary of the complex history of apartheid in South Africa.
South Africa. The favorites in South Africa are the people who are being repressed by that ugly white regime. We have favorites.
Apartheid was a really strict system that separated people based on their race and influenced everything in life, like schools, buses, and where you can live.
The Group Areas Act forcibly relocated non-white communities, causing suffering and tearing or separation of families.
But apartheid was not only a system, it had architects. People like Hendrik Verwoerd formulated and enforced these policies.
In response, the resistance grew. Leaders like Nelson Mandela, Oliver Tambo, and Desmond Tutu joined forces under the banner of the African National Congress.
Demonstrations against the South African government's strict apartheid policies flare into shocking violence. At Sharpsville, an industrial township, thousands gather outside a police station in protest against new laws requiring every African to carry a pass at all times.
People from all over the world supported them. There were big protests and people were refusing to buy things from South Africa to show that they wanted the apartheid to stop, as they wanted the apartheid to stop in South Africa.
Pressure from people all around the world really helped. They used things like not doing business with South Africa and refusing to be part of their culture to make a strong impact in the fight for justice.
In 1990, the world watched as Nelson Mandela was released from prison, marking a turning point during the apartheid.
Good evening, Eric, and it is just that. South Africa's President, F.W. de Klerk, ended the suspense at 5 o'clock this afternoon, South Africa time. Nelson Mandela to be released tomorrow, and as you might expect, that is a moment that this country will not soon forget.
His first public appearance in nearly 3 decades. 72 years old, walking strongly, step by step, further into freedom.
After Mandela's release and the news started to settle down, Mandela had determination to bring people together and build a unified nation.
The climax was in 1994, when South Africa had its first fair election, and Nelson Mandela became the first black president of the country.
And I accordingly take great pleasure in announcing the election of Comrade Nelson Mandela to the post of president.
It was a momentous event, but the legacy of apartheid did not disappear soon at all.
Today, South Africa is a diverse, inclusive nation, but the healing process continues. A special group, the Truth and Reconciliation Commission, led by Archbishop Desmond Tutu, was really important in dealing with the bad situations in the last years.
So the Truth and Reconciliation Commission was an effort to bring out into the open in a public way the sins of the past, and if the sinners of the past would own up morally to what they had done, there was at least the possibility of amnesty, and the idea that once these confessions had been made and the data assembled, that the country would be able in good conscience to move on and not seek endless retribution on people who are thought to have been part of the bad old days.
Even though time has passed, the effects of apartheid can still be seen in how South Africa's society and economy are shaped today.
Apartheid is in the past, but its long-lasting effects are still felt today. South Africa is still working to create a fair and equal future because of it.
Thank you for joining us on the exploration of South Africa's history and the evolvement of apartheid.
I will always love you how I do. Let go of a prayer for you, just a sweet word